is over at Mar-a-Lago, man. The man preached a really good time there, man. I thought I had a couple of conversions from my father and my father's housekeeper, because at first they were totally against him, and after they watched that thing, they're going, "Wow, it's pretty amazing." You know, we really haven't listened. I think that's half the problem out there is that, let's be honest, I don't think we actually spend the time watching these people. It's like if you ever listen to a record, you know, I bet you heard it on the radio, and then all of a sudden you got the record, or you saw the record, you played the record, and then all of a sudden you saw the video, and you're like, wow, now I really like the freaking band. So I think what it is, I think once again because of the media, I feel like that if we would all take our opportunities to watch the other side, like I've watched Joe Biden, I saw a documentary on Joe Biden, which honestly, it gave me a different perspective on him, but I'm still not sold on him as being a leader of our country, all right? But I think it gives people more of a in-depth view of that person or that, you know, that group to give you another better source of how to evaluate what you want. Don't you agree?
That's true. I think there's too many people in this world or our country are called useful idiots. It's a term that's been given to people back whenever Lenin came back into power in Russia. And he told them all these things he was going to do for them. But he didn't tell them he was going to enslave them and kill them as soon as they put him back into power. He used the term useful idiots just to get their vote to put him back in power. And once he was in power, he never relinquished power, and he took over and he ruled with an iron fist and killed so many people.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the same thing that's going to happen here.
But I mean, I look at it this way, okay? Trump made a really good point that stuck out in my head really hard, right? And I never even thought about it until after he mentioned it. But he goes, I really feel sorry for Joe. I really feel sorry for him because he went to that debate. He didn't do as well as he planned. He was sort of pushed up by his own group of people.
A coup.
All right? And the thing about it was he should have been able to at least run for it. And now they're just throwing Harris in there without any type of vote whatsoever. She doesn't even have one vote. She just got thrown in there.
Right.
So to me, once again, that shows how the Democratic Party is just finagling things to try to benefit their ways. Now,
Right.
I honestly, no disrespect to Kamala Harris because I don't know the woman and I don't know Walz, but I'm going to tell you this much. I think Walz has got more stamina and more strength and more power than Kamala Harris does.
Well, he's also, I'm sorry.
No, but I mean, I think maybe that's their goal is to get in and then move her out and freaking put him up there. I mean, I don't know. That seems like what they're doing.
Kamala Harris didn't even pass her own bar exams.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And she became the state's attorney for California, very strong in this. She's all full of crap. She slept with Willie Brown, who was the mayor of San Francisco. He was a married guy, 60-year-old guy. She's like 20-something years old. So she was working her way to the top. You know what I mean?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I think she was on top, trying to work her way to the top.
Hey, look at man. If I was good looking, a lot younger, I might consider that too.
Well, that's not the way you do things.
Oh yes, it is in the entertainment business. Come on, man.
No, she slept her way to the top, and everybody knows.
Well, did Monica Lewinsky sort of like do that too?
No. It was a cigar, man.
Oh, okay.
It was you know, I mean.
Well, that's not what Clinton said. I didn't have any sexual, whatever.
Well, he turned out to be a liar, and they disbarred him anyway because he's a liar. So, you know. So.
Hey, before I forget, we gotta do a shout out to Liz Gillian.
Oh
man.
yeah, yes.
She's been with me for
Happy
15
birthday.
years, taking care of my A to Z Fire, one of my companies. And Liz, happy birthday to you.
Happy
from
birthday.
all of us here, man. Hey, have a great day. Don't work too hard, and we'll see if we can put a little bonus in your check there for you.
There's a lot of candles in the cake, so don't pass out blowing them out, okay?
I didn't say that, Liz. Yeah, but you and I probably can only blow out one, man.
I never met her before. She's like, I'm not making out a check for him. I go, I don't get one, so don't worry about it. I'm independently wealthy. I pay for myself.
Well, let's talk about. as I did my driving, I don't know if I told you guys, but I this time of year, my birthday's on August 3rd, and usually 4 days prior to that, because usually my wife has to go back to school because she's a school teacher. I'll spend 3-4 days with her doing something, you
Yeah.
know, and then 4 or 5 days after that, I will go out, clear my head out, be by myself for 2-3 days, and during that time, I'll get what do you want to call it, a new vision of what my life. I reflect back on what my life entailed, my weaknesses, my strengths. I just try to get into a whole different mindset to try to analyze where I've been at and what direction I'm going on. And during that time, I was also working on a program an incentive plan, I would call it, where I'm trying to create more wealth for my actual employees, because it started out this way about 3 weeks ago, where I had an employee who came up to me and asked me to give them a review. All right? Now, ultimately, and most people, when they say review, they're asking for a raise. Okay? And I want to make sure that, from my opinion, a review is not a pay increase. It's not a pay merit. All right? And if you Google it, it says basically an evaluation or summary of what you have done of a certain topic or a certain thing here. So I look at it from this way. All reviews could lead to a negative outcome. All right? And if you're looking for a raise, you're better off asking, hey, is there any way we could talk about getting a raise, compared to, hey, let me have a review? Because honestly, all of us have strengths and weaknesses, and there is no way, in my eyes, that each one of my employees are to that top notch, including myself. All right? So I can say, yeah, you're good at this, you're good at this, you're good at this, but remember this? You did this. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. And usually what happens is people walk away with the tail between their legs because I've opened up a door that they totally forgot about. All right? So I had to struggle with that one for a while, because I respect all my employees, but I want to make sure, and I hope that other business owners will listen to that, put it into your head and put it into your employees' heads. Let them know the reviews are based on performance, based upon what they do. If they want a raise, they should literally just say, hey, look, can we sit down and talk about getting a raise? Because I would be more flexible on that and say, yeah, I'm not going to base it upon your review, because let's just say I'm giving you a $2 an hour raise. Well, if 50% is good and 50% is bad, well, now I'm only going to give you $1, technically speaking. All right? So I'd rather be straight up with my employees. I'd rather be straight up with my business plans. And basically from this analyzation that I do in my own head, I realize that I have to create a little bit more solid boundaries. I have to be a little bit more true to myself. I've realized that I've, in a weird way, or in a sad way, I'd say, I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but in a way I've had people actually take advantage of my kindness, which ultimately came back to bite me in the ass. Okay? And I don't know if you've ever experienced it. You help somebody out, they go, oh yeah, man, I'll pay you back, and never get paid. Or, like for instance, I used to have jet skis and boats, and everybody come over, we'd have a great time, and nobody'd stick around to help me clean up. Nobody helped me to put the gas in the boat.
Yeah.
Nobody helped me redo all the freaking fishing lines and the bait, and stuff. So I just felt like, okay, it's time not to be selfish, but it's time to reevaluate where the pros and cons are in my life. Not that I'm not willing to help people out, but ultimately my goal in life here is to evaluate my own personal being. And I think everybody should take that time to just get away from everything. Shut off your phone. And it was hard for me the first day or two to shut my phone off. I was like, oh my God, I got it. It was really hard. So I try to encourage people. Turn the phone off. Take a Sunday and just zone out and just focus in on you. Focus what makes you happy. What makes you sad? What makes you money? What doesn't make you money? There's a million things you could think about, but just take that time for yourself. Mm-hmm. So after that analyzation, I ended up going to see my father, and going back to your Trump, my father and I have always had a conflict on Democrats, Republicans, Trump, frickin' Biden,
right.
Blah, blah, blah. And we happened to sit down and watch that what do you want to call it, press conference at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
And like I said, we saw it. And after we said it all down, my father was actually, wow,
impressed.
man. No, he was like, wow, you're making me think that maybe I do like him. He seems to be a little bit more calmer. He seems
Yeah.
to be a little more up.
Right.
And like I said, his housekeeper, Mary, she totally was like against him. And she started thinking a little bit as well too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we just have to evaluate everything from all different perspectives, and just really get solid truth.
Right.
And if you want Democrats, you want Democrats. If you want green, you want green. If you want, landscaping, whatever it is, but be solid on the truths. In other words, investigate your own truths.
Well, Trump was the president before, right?
Yeah.
And gas was like $1.87 before.
Yep. Yep.
Now it's 3 something.
Yep.
He was the president before, and he did a lot of great things. There was no wars.
Yep. Oh,
He
man.
kept, he kept costs down. Inflation was like 1.9%.
That is so true.
Even though they don't cost average everything like they're supposed to. But he still did a lot better job than someone who's running for president right now, say
Amen.
Kamala Harris.
Yep. Yep.
She has no track record.
Well,
The
she's
media,
got history.
the media wants. Oh, did you see what she did the other day? Trump proposed no taxes on tips for
Yes,
sales workers.
I did see
and she
that.
came out. Someone handed her a cue card, and she looked at it and she goes, "Oh, got a great idea. No taxes on tips."
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, she's plagiarized everything, So.
Well, I mean, like I said, going back to what you just said, I sort of feel like, with all due respect to both sides of the government,
Yeah.
let's be dead honest about it. All these price increases, it's corporate greed.
No.
Okay, now hear me out for a minute.
No.
I believe before COVID, they had lost millions and billions of dollars of revenue. Okay, I should say before, while COVID was going on. All right? And what happened was we finally got back. Well, in the meantime, they've lost that. These insurance companies lost money. Freaking big corporations lost money. There's at least millions of companies that actually went bankrupt. They gave out hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? And then when we started all regrouping again, you haven't seen the prices go back down. Why? Because it's corporate greed. Because I know damn well that you're paying $3 for this. Well, I'm going to keep doing it. Okay, let's give you another prime example. My commercial insurance auto policy,
Right.
okay, was just up for renewal. We had 2 little fender bends, only cost like $5,000.
Yeah.
Okay, it went from $36,000 up to $62,000. Now you know what the thing was? Oh, because of all the personal injury attorneys, they're doing this. And I'm thinking to myself, let's just back up here. Let's go back to the corporate.
Right.
These insurance companies have been around for a lot longer than most of these personal injury attorneys have. Let's go to Morgan & Morgan, the biggest one in the world right now. He's only been around for about 50 years. Okay? These insurance companies, these big insurance companies have been around for hundreds, 150 years. All right? Now, why weren't they smart enough to get their own in-house personal injury if they're saying it's because of personal injury attorneys?
It's the way they're structured because they're not part of the Fortune 500 because they're insurance. You have to be able to sell something other than insurance doesn't. Insurance is like air.
Yeah, but they have to have corporate attorneys to defend their cases.
Right. But then,
Okay, but what I'm saying is that you would have thought as a business, once again, that you would do whatever you have to protect your assets to the fight against these personal injury attorneys. They have their own set of attorneys, okay? And the thing about it is, why are the personal injury attorneys just freaking killing them out there? You know why? Because they're making millions and billions of dollars off of some of these false claims.
well, the lawyers and the politicians got together a long time ago, and they set up
I'll drink to that
they
one.
set up items in your own insurance policy and catchfalls, so you can be sued.
Yep,
Say you're sitting at a light, and someone bumps you.
right.
And they fall out and they go, it's your fault. Your insurance company is going to give them $25,000 no matter how much you object.
Yep.
They're going to give them that money.
You know why? Because it's cheaper that way.
It's cheaper for them to just
But
get
what
out
I'm
of
saying
it.
is if they would start getting up there and grabbing some balls and going, screw you, I'm going to spend
Yeah.
$20 million on a $10,000 freaking case.
Yeah.
You're going to put a whole different spin on these attorneys.
Right.
Okay, on top of it, I'll give you another prime example. The roofing business. It's been killing it for the last decade. They'll go out when there's a little storm like the storm we just had recently,
Right.
Debbie. Okay, and they'll go up on your roof and go, oh, you got a couple shingles here that were
Yeah.
flibbled up. Oh, your roof's like 10, 15 years old. We can't get that exact same shingle.
Right.
So now you're going to have to do your whole roof. And what they'll do is just settle to pay the $21,000, which first of all, it doesn't cost $21,000 to do a roof on an average. It's like 10 to 15, depending on the size of the roof.
Right,
But the problem is they don't negotiate.
right.
So then what happens? Corporate greed goes back to me and you that doesn't file claims. We just keep paying, we just keep paying.
Yeah.
We're not looking into freaking evaluating our insurance plans. We go, oh, I've been with them for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're doing me right. Bullshit.
Well, sometimes they try to use their homeowner's insurance.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's
Have
what
you
it
got
is.
your homeowner's insurance bill this year yet?
Yeah. It
Did-
hasn't gone up that much. But like I said, I look at it from a standpoint, okay, is that the average person out there does not shop their policies.
Correct.
Every single year, every
Correct.
6 months,
Correct.
you should be shopping your policy. And all you have to do is make yourself a little Excel spreadsheet and put down whatever insurance plans you have, what other limits they are, and what the amount is, and get that in an email format and email it to 5, 6, 7 different.
And they need to bundle their car insurance with their homeowner's insurance.
Well, that's what they said from Progressive too.
I'm serious.
No, you're right.
But-
You're totally right. It says, but like everything else, you have to be careful because like the progressives, they think they're giving you a good deal, but at most times it is better to shop separate policies.
No, I don't bundle my car insurance with my homeowner's insurance. I use a company called TyTap.
Okay, yeah.
It didn't go up 1 penny this year.
Yep,
It's
yep,
the same amount as it was last year.
yep. Well,
Which is
now
still-
TyTap was St. John's, was it? Or who the
Yeah.
hell was it? I think it was St. John's. Because St. John's bailed.
Yeah.
They went freaking south, man. They couldn't do it. They went south, man. Because I remember I had the policies, but I have learned because of all the real estate I have and all the vehicles I have,
Right.
I have to shop those policies.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now let's talk one other thing that it just popped in my little pea brain here. You know, I looked at my father who will be 95 this year.
Sweet. That's great.
All right. The man doesn't take any pills. He takes B12.
That's all.
Now, the problem is he does have like a kidney problem where his bladder fills up. He has to wear the diapers and stuff, all
Yeah.
right? But the thing about it is, okay, is that he is more flexible and I think actually more healthy than most people that I know, including myself at times. And I'm going, wow, why is that? And when it gets back to me, I've evaluated when I was gone that was 4 days, 5 days. I also evaluated my staff on where they are, how they've been going. And I've noticed in the last year, they've been out sick more, they've had more medical issues take place. It's just that more things are happening. And so what I decided, okay, how much do you pay a year in health insurance?
Since I went to work for this new automotive group, I pay $714 a month.
Okay.
It includes disability, health, ocular, dental, all that kind of crap.
All right, so you got a pretty good plan, but that's still a very outrageous amount for the average American.
Oh, yeah.
$700 a month.
Now, if you didn't have insurance, how much would it cost?
Well, let me flip it to you a different way, okay? Let's be honest, it depends on our age group,
Right?
all right? But I work to deal with my own personal doctor, okay? And what he's decided to do for us is he will give us a flat monthly fee. Let's say $7,500, all right? Where you can call him, text him, go see him.
Yes, I've heard about
Whatever
this.
you want.
Yeah,
That's where
I've
like
heard
the
about this.
telehealth. It was
Yeah.
all
Right.
created basically through COVID.
Right.
But what it is, you can go see him. He'll send you freaking scripts, whatever you want, blood work. He's got MRIs. He'll do it for less than what you pay through insurance. Okay. So granted, we could take care of all the upfront. Because let's be honest, but most of us don't go to the doctor. If you look at my staff, like I said, in 30 years, I maybe had one incident where they had maybe an accident or something where they were maybe out for 4 or 5 days. at the
Workman's
most.
comp?
Yeah, workers' comp. Knock on wood,
Yeah.
all right? And granted, I'm sure there's other industries that are a lot different. But what I'm leading up to is that most people are healthy in most cases. Okay, there's a few of us that have underlying diseases and stuff like that. Okay, I would highly recommend those people get on some kind of insurance plan.
Right.
Okay, otherwise, invest in a doctor like him. Okay, invest in that part, and then get yourself an emergency medical plan for pennies on the dollar. If God forbid you have to go into the hospital,
Right.
all right? And these insurance plans, these vision plans, hell, you could go to America's Best for $149, get the vision, 2 sets of glasses. Now, if you have something really out the sideline,
Yeah.
they're negotiable. And that's why I tell people you have to budget, you have to analyze that because, okay, if I'm only paying, let's just say $100 a month, you're paying $700. That's $8,400 a year. Okay, I'm only going to pay $1,200 a year. The other $7,000 I could be putting into a different account where I'm making 6, 7, 8% return on my money.
What happens if you have to go to the hospital?
If you go to the hospital, it's the same thing. You'd have that emergency plan where it would take you in there and they would bill you out. So in other words, if you're paying $700, why not just pay $400 a month? Okay? And then the other $300, put it into your own health savings account,
Right.
which ultimately will give you more money to either invest in other things or get at least a return on your money.
Right.
There's accounts, savings accounts, that you can get 5.5%, which ain't shit,
Right.
but it's a lot more than sticking in a normal bank where you only get 1%.
Right.
All right? The thing about it is, I don't think people take the time out to really analyze everything. Granted, the older we get, all right, yeah, I highly recommend people having health insurance of some sort, because you never know. All right, like I said, you have a car accident, but usually car accidents on your car accident insurance policy.
Right, yeah.
And it goes back to the personal injury lawyers,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just talking day to day, you get the sniffles, you get a cough, you get COVID. Hey, this is something that like my doc, because I actually, through my wife, because she works for Hillsborough County, we got a hell of a plan. It only cost me $384 a month for
Wow,
everything.
that's cheap.
Okay? But I still invest in this plan for my own personal doctor. Because you know, sometimes you call up your doctor office, oh, I can't see you for 2 weeks. This dude will text you right back within like 15 minutes
Yeah.
or call you back. If you need a prescription, he will send it right then and there.
Right.
When I had to get blood work done, he would just send it to me and he'd fax it to wherever I want to.
Right.
And I just go in there and get the blood work done.
You go like LabCorp or someplace
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, LabCorp Quest. I go to Quest. So I mean, I just, like I said, I'm reflecting back on these days and going, then you got to analyze things all the way across the board because I'm getting older and I don't know if I'm getting much wiser or not.
Older, oh my God.
You know, you young ones keep getting younger and younger, and I'm getting older and
I'm
older.
older than
man.
you are.
Oh, yeah, I'm 149, man. I look really good.
Yeah.
That stuff, that skin gel stuff works really well.
You put it under your eyes, it tightens up really, really good.
Yeah, one time I tightened up, I was Chinese eyed. Oh, Chinese eyed.
You came back an hour later, you're like, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Dwayne. What'd you do in 2 weeks? Give me some good stories, man. Come on, you gotta have something there.
Didn't kill anybody.
Damn, man. I was hoping that
Drove back and forth a lot of times from work to home.
Yeah, no, you're out. Whereabouts are you again?
I'm in Port Richey,
Oh, that's a long hike.
right across the river there.
You might as well just go over to freaking Orlando. It might be quicker.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but it's a nice drive if you get used to it.
Yeah.
You I turn the ether up in the car. I'm sitting there going, okay, I feel much better until I get out of the car. But no, it's fine. But I got a really good opportunity. I'm blessed. I'm still alive. I've had some health things I got to get straightened out and stuff like that. And I still have a little teeny aneurysm on top of my heart still.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So how'd they find that?
Well, it's been there for a long, long time. They found that out when I had my original aneurysm and died back in 2011.
Wow.
They did a lot. They can do enough tests where they can find something out. But my father's dad had one, and my father's brother had one, and they both died in their sleep from it.
So, I mean, with no disrespect to anybody, but I think I'd rather die in the sleep than go through the dementia thing that my mother.
I'd much rather die with a blonde, but you can die in their sleep all day long.
Now, his wife, did you hear that, man?
Hey, put the blonde wig on, honey. I feel like dying.
I'm gonna put you out of your misery, honey. What she's gonna
That's
tell
the
you.
fourth time this week you've told me that crap. Get out of here. No,
Yeah.
they called me and said, oh, you got to go by and see the specialist because he's the one who takes it and has a bone in his nose and shakes the things and stuff like that.
All right,
But
that's
no,
what I like.
but no, I'm fine. But you know, I still have to take my beat because I have AFib still and some other things. But I'm past all that, hopefully. But no, as far as that, I've lost weight,
Well,
Work-
you must
working out
give it to
hard.
me, man, because I felt it's coming on me. I still.
working out hard, you know.
That's it, man. Yeah, let me.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Freaking the Hulk. Yeah, the Hulk.
67
Oh,
years old, look at that, man.
Look at that freaking 61. I got flapped.
But you were talking about Social Security and some other things, and I think the biggest thing that's really consumed our lives the last 2 weeks is my daughter came home from Spain.
Okay.
She lives in Rota, Spain. She was in the Navy. She met her husband in basic training in Chicago. They both got married. They've been together for 9 years. They're stationed. He's in Papua New Guinea,
Wow. Okay.
small dirtbag island in the Indonesian Pacific or whatever. He's over there. He's assigned to a Marine unit, and I'm really proud of him because he's in the Navy. He's been for 9 years, like I said, and they're trying to find out where a bunch of World War II veterans were buried
Oh wow.
during World War II.
So what would make them consider going back there? I mean, what?
Well,
How is that? Because they're just saying
well, the defense.
closure, or what is?
Yes, I think the defense. I never was told this, but I would figure common sense would tell me that they just want to bring people home.
Yeah.
There's still people in Vietnam, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that, but they're not living in this place. They're dead or whatever, but they
Yeah.
just want to bring their remains home and have closure for the family because some of these families 80 or 90 years ago that grandpa. Now it's not like Joe Biden's uncle who got eaten by the cannibals. Now there is a story about cannibals. There's cannibals that live.
You notice how he's always got to spin back to the
There-
freaking that poor Joe, man. Joe is just getting his ass kicked. He's
Well-
just a puppet, people. He's just a puppet, all right?
Well,
Don't be gentle on him.
there's cannibals that live on this island.
I believe that.
Okay, and
I had
then-
a girlfriend that
I
thought
Google
that way.
searched it at work one day, going, let me see fucking cannibals. So so I found them, and they.
Oh, wait a
and-
minute, you're texting at work? That's against company policy, man.
Yeah, they fuck them. So I don't give a shit. You know. See ya. I go, okay, bye. Yeah.
Next,
But
number 234.
there is no next. I am it.
That's right.
I'm-
He's the all in.
Well, I'm the number 3 rated person for what I do in the United States.
All right, then. High five to that one, brother.
Oh, yeah.
High five to that one.
Yeah,
man.
I know what the fuck I'm doing. So.
Oh, which I did, which Joe did.
So there's cannibals that live on this island, and they've been outlawed to do what they do because they've come down with some kind of mental deficiency because they eat everything from the human, including the brains. And it's been found out medically that if you eat human brains,
Yeah.
you come down with some kind of neurological problem,
'Cause you're
which
eating
is
brains.
consistent with what you're doing.
Okay, but now let's think about this for a minute. I'm glad
Yeah.
you sort about this. If God forbid we were like 5 of us on an island, and we couldn't for whatever reason, and let's be honest, some of us are a little bit extra thick around the gut. You can probably let them check out, and make it into a burger, and cook it out over the grill. Wouldn't that be pretty good? I mean, guys.
Well, we're still we've evolved past that point, and
Yes.
you know. So I mean, and to be honest with you, Dan, there's no. When we went to school, and I was making this point with someone the other day about cavemen.
Okay.
You ever seen a picture of a fat cave guy?
Oh, but that's like Geico, man.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just.
I can't say I have,
Yeah,
man.
you ever seen a fat dinosaur, a fat caveman chasing a dinosaur? No,
No.
the dinosaur is chasing the fat guy because he has to run. He can't run as fast as the
Oh,
other
hell
guys.
yeah, man. That's it, man. That's it.
So back to the cannibals. They found out also that they eat everything except the gallbladder. Why? Because it tastes bad. Has no taste to it because that's where all the bile and the toxins go to.
Okay.
It's a filter just like whatever you have else there. So, but yeah, so he's been doing that. He'll be back in a couple months. My daughter was here for 2 weeks. She was visiting. She had fun with her mother. I was going to work and stuff like that. But yeah, everything's fine.
Well, I mean, like I said, I really evaluated my life when I took that time off, and like I said, I highly recommend it, everybody, even if you could get 15 minutes of your life. If you gotta close yourself in the bathroom or get in your car, but just take that time to analyze where you're at. Too many people are, how can I say, jumping off ship because they feel like they're so far in a negative situation. I mean, I think I've mentioned this before where we had a family member who freaking just couldn't hang with it and jumped ship and jumped off a bridge and committed suicide.
Oh, when?
About 3 months ago,
I'm
4
sorry.
months ago.
I'm sorry.
And, you know, the thing about it is we see so many people that are in a dark space, all right? I've got a dear friend of mine text me the other day is he got a flu shot. And unfortunately, he's one of the lucky ones who got that reverse mectoli, I can't pronounce it right.
Encephalitis.
disease. Basically what it is, he got paralyzed
Yeah.
from the waist down.
Yeah.
Well, the guy went through years to get back,
Yeah.
and now he became a Paralympic freaking
Wow.
silver medalist. All right, well, he came in some hard times again.
Uh-oh.
His mother passed away about 1.5 years ago, and
Oh.
it's mentally doing him wrong, and he keeps posting dark stuff. And I think the only thing that's keeping him alive right now is he's got a dog that he just loves, and the dog's
Oh.
like his best friend, and we're all trying our best to support him and encourage him to do the right thing. And like I'm trying to emphasize to people, we all go in those dark places. I mean, honestly, before I left that Saturday night, I went to a really dark place in my mind. I said, you know, I wasn't thinking about checking out, but it was like, I was ready to throw in the towel, man, on my marriage, on my business, on everything. And I got a reality check on it. It was like, why the hell should I keep freaking, you know, letting things out of my control
Control you.
control me?
Right.
All right? And so I said I had to create a boundary. In other words, I'm a happy individual all the time.
Right.
But if I start letting my environment or my paycheck or people, you know, bring negativity to me, I can't do that, man. If I have to shut the door on people or a business or whatever it is just to keep the standing, I think we all need to think about it. That's why I emphasize to people all the time. Focus in on what makes you happy. Focus in on not the finances. The bottom line is there's 3 things in life you have to have. We all have to have. And that's have a roof over your head. You have to have enough money to pay for utilities. You can have AC, a refrigerator, lights. You got to have those things so you can put food in your refrigerator, have a stove. So you got to have utilities. And most of all, you got to have food. You don't need to have a freaking car. Yeah, it makes our life a lot easier. But those 3 things you've got to have.
Essentials.
So in other words, if you just sit down and go to the basics and go, okay, and this goes back to surely budgeting, all right? And saying, okay, whatever it is, live within your means, people. I've done it myself. Oh, well, I've got a credit card, let's just swipe it. So then you get the bill, oh, I'm $300 and I can't only pay $50. Then I get up to $600. You know, you keep getting down this hole, this big rabbit hole. That's why I'm telling you, take that time. Take that 20, 30, 15 minutes just to freeze up what you're doing and get a reality check, people. I'm telling you, I've been there. I know what it's all about.
I was in business before, long time ago, back in from 87 to 92.
Yeah.
I was an electrical contractor, very successful, made a bunch of money, paid off my partners, and people didn't want to start paying because the recession hit back in 91.
Yep.
Pretty soon, didn't have enough money, not making payroll, stuff like that, and I just decided one day just to call it quits. And it was very depressing because I went through all the knowledge
Yep.
from everyone else on how to do these things, and I was very successful. And went to school, all this kind of stuff, and it takes a lot out of you. I went home and sat on the couch for a couple of weeks, and I finally got it. But I had wife and kids to support, and I had responsibilities.
And so, you had all that
Yeah.
on top of your head
And
that
I
you were
made-
thinking about.
And I'm a useful tool.
Yeah, we all are.
You know, I just make sure that, you know, hey, if something were to happen and if I died, that my wife is taken care of,
Exactly.
my puppies are taken care of,
Yep.
the house is paid for, all the bills, she got plenty of cash. And I did my part, because I've seen so many people that don't do their part and don't have this, and they leave people short.
Well, that's something really good point that I want to emphasize on too. For any of you people out there that are listening to us, if you got kids, or if you even got a spouse for that matter, okay, you should really consider getting a term, not a whole life, a term life insurance policy.
Right,
Because we've spoken about this in the past.
right,
And what I'm trying to emphasize on, like what you were just saying, if God forbid one of you were to pass on, think about if you had young kids and you're the breadwinner to the house.
right,
Okay, now your spouse is going to have to take care of two young kids,
right,
be mentally depressed because they've lost a loved one,
right.
okay, and then they're going to be financially in a hole. You
And they-
know?
and they-
So take that time out and invest in a life insurance policy. And like I said, make sure it's a term life insurance.
Right.
The reason being, it's so much cheaper. Depending on your age, you could get like a $650,000 life insurance policy for like 20, 30 bucks a month. Okay? Yes, you might not use it, but what if, God forbid, you went out there and you got hit by a freaking semi or had a heart attack or something without your means that you weren't ever prepared for.
Right.
All right? Now, I'll be honest, it's not going to cover you if you do suicide. All right? They will not cover that.
They'll cover
But-
suicide after 2.5 years.
Well, okay, yeah, that is true. Let me clarify that. That is true. It depends. If you've got attempt, they're going to say, go see us.
Back, he's mine.
No, but the thing about us, guys, I just want, to state to everybody, okay, our platform, Dwayne and I know that we have seen the dark side. We've seen the highlights. We've seen the low lights of life. And ultimately, we're just trying to impress upon you, take time for yourself. Get up in your head. Find out what makes you happy. If you can't find it, go ask for advice. Don't worry about what people think about you.
Yeah.
Hell, go to a stranger. Go to a church. Go to a park. Talk to a stranger.
You even have the answers on your phone if you try it.
That is true. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of stuff that can give you self-help right on your phone in the private of your home.
But it goes back
All right.
to two different kinds of people we talk about, the leaders and the followers.
Yeah, but then I'll be honest, don't you believe the followers could be trained in to become leaders?
We are training them every month that we're on doing this.
Yes, and that's what I mean.
Because the media, like we go back to politics again, the media tries to brainwash you into thinking something that isn't true.
That's so true.
And then once you find out that it's true, say an example, Hunter Biden's laptop. Well, there was a laptop. And they did use it in a case, and they found him guilty of a gun charge, which his father's probably gonna pardon him anyway. But,
Well, I mean, I would probably do it to my son if it was me, even though it's
well,
probably
his
illegal,
son's
but-
kind of stupid. He was dating his brother's sister and screwing her. I mean,
And we've all made a lot of stupid mistakes.
no, I've
man.
never done that before. That's
Well, I-
bodaciously awful.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a story that you'll probably say, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're an idiot too." I didn't know my brother was dating this one girl, and I was going through a
Yeah.
divorce. And all of a sudden, I had two young girls bang on my door.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, what the?"
yeah,
She never once told me that she was dating my brother.
right,
Well, we're having a good time.
yeah,
Next thing you know, my brother came around the back door because nobody answered the door.
uh-huh.
Saw business being done.
Oh,
Wanted to kill me.
oh no. He was
I
jealous?
never knew. Oh, he was jealous. He was pissed.
Yeah.
He wanted to kill me, and I didn't have a freaking clue about it.
Oh,
The
he-
girl didn't say nothing to me about it.
You just didn't know?
I didn't know. I
It's
wasn't.
it's her fault.
Oh, yeah. It's always a woman's fault. Oh, I didn't say that.
I mean, have you ever made a cake before?
Hey, man, she's a
You
player.
gotta have the batter and the milk and the egg. Was she the batter or the egg or the mix?
I think she's the big.
She needed to make a cake real fast. Okay.
All I know is taking care of business, and my brother walked into it, man. From the outside.
you
Not on
friend-
the
are
inside.
you
I
friends
probably would
still?
have been dead right now.
Are you friends still?
Yeah, we're some friends, but we got heat over a couple things,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I've been down a shady road, and I'm not going to spit out all my stuff on this one session because it would take too long, first of all.
Yeah.
All right, but The thing about it is, that I try to emphasize to people, man, is that don't worry about the past. We can't change the freaking past.
Go forward.
What we did 10 seconds ago will impact you a little bit, but you should never dwindle and think about what happened 2 years ago. If I would have said this, if I wouldn't have done that, go forward, people. Take that step forward. You can't change the past.
In your professional life, it's good for you to remember what you've done so you don't do it again wrong.
Well, I'll
So
tell
you can
you.
be better at your job.
Well, that is
But
100%
life,
true.
when you have a fight or say something wrong or whatever, you're going to do it again anyway.
Well, we try to steer it a little bit around, but most of it, like me and the wife,
Well-
gotta always fight about something. So the older we get, it's like we're big. You put the cup over here. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. You didn't do that.
Don't hit the dog with the remote. I didn't hit the dog. I just saw you. What are you talking about? But in your professional life, it'd be kind of stupid for me to be rude to someone.
Yeah.
When someone comes and asks me for information for them to buy a car, I give them as much information as possible, and I try to explain all the policies and the programs to them, and tell them and give them a price.
But see, that's being professional. That's being a well-educated person who's giving more education to a average person who's looking to buy a specific vehicle or whatever it is.
Some people don't know. We've talked about this in the past. They don't know what their credit is.
Yep.
They know they have a business and stuff like. I would assume that. So I like to talk to people who have businesses because they have more on the ball.
Right.
And I don't take ups at the
Yeah.
dealership. I don't do that because it wouldn't be fair for me to take an up from some kid who's only been selling cars for 3 months.
Right.
Because it's just I'll give him as much information and tell him what he should be doing, but I'm not going to steal from him.
No.
I'm
I mean,
not going to take his $200 from him.
yeah. No.
No, it's
Then
dumb.
why did you take that $20 from me the other day at the bar?
Yeah, right. I don't even drink. Give me a break. I've had a drink.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
I haven't
man.
had a drink in almost a month. You believe
Wow. Yeah,
that? I ran out of Captain Morgan, and I haven't gone to the store to buy anyone. It was buy one get one free.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. No, I can't drink rum, man.
No.
It's just too sweet for me. And like, I guess I've had too many experiences down in freaking Key West, the rum slummers and this thing and everything with the rum in it.
I haven't had a vodka in probably since last year
But
or
see, I
a
don't do
year.
vodka. I can only do vodka.
What do you-
It's
what do you
like
drink,
Grey
Jen?
Goose. It's like I gotta be like in the freezer
Yeah.
and ice cold.
Oh
Or
yeah.
unless I do a martini and I gotta have the green olives with
Oh yeah. With the
garlic
anchovies
inside.
in
Not
there.
well, I'll do an anchovy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
I
cool,
use
yeah.
like garlic or something.
You
inside
go
of
go
them.
to, go to like Lucan's. You can buy. They have
Yeah.
a whole section of olives.
Yeah.
They have Publix has nothing on these guys, okay?
Yeah. Oh,
They have
yeah.
olives with this, olives with that, and stuff like that. And I'm going, you buy the French vodka. It's been purified 10 times,
Yeah.
like Grey Goose is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But vodka is smooth. But I usually drink Captain Morgan. I was drinking that Sailor Jerry's, but it kind of makes you
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 106 proof or something. I know. I said
was
pirates.
that, was that one of the evenings that you went out and had that little bit of a brawl fight the last time we talked?
Yeah, really. Yeah. I'm still contemplating about that. Yeah.
Let it rest. Let it rest. It's not
Yeah.
worth your headaches, man.
Nah,
I mean, I'll give you a good story
Yeah.
here. This was another thing that sort of took me into a
Yeah.
tailspin on Saturday
Yeah.
night. I took my wife, this is on my birthday, to Bonefish, because that's what she likes the place. Okay,
Yeah.
we get a pretty good deal. We got good service there.
yeah.
And there's a young kid sitting right beside me. Hit it off. We're
Yeah.
talking. He's telling me about his life. I'm telling me about mine. He goes, "Oh, today's your birthday. Let me buy you a shot." So he bought me a shot. We cheered. All right. Bought me another drink. Okay. So we're cool. We're doing everything. And I said, I saw he had just brought out a bag of food. They were getting ready to, I guess he was waiting to get his drinks
Yeah.
and he was going to take the food home to the family. So we were talking. He goes, let me have another drink. So he got another drink. And
Yeah.
we were sitting there talking and having a good time. And I said, "Mr. Nice Guy." I go, "Well, I'll pick up his tab. I'm
Yeah.
thinking on the drinks."
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, no, exactly.
Oh, he's
All right.
got more than 2
So
drinks on there.
I was under the impression that I was only paying for the drink that he just had.
Yeah.
Okay. And the bartender came over and goes, "You sure you want to do this?" I'm for some damn reason, I'm only thinking it's the drink. And I said, "Yeah, no problem."
He was giving you a heads up.
All right. Well, she was. All right. Now, so needless to say, everything's said and done. He's gone. We're closing out the night. We're getting ready to wrap things up. Somehow we get into the politic thing here
Ooh.
with the bartender. And normally it'll be, you know,
Yeah.
okay, a little bit. She pretty much just went black on me. Like, no, I don't want to talk about it. And she made a few comments, don't want to go on. But then she walked down towards the end of the bar.
Yeah.
And she's talking about it at the end of the bar.
Oh.
So she comes back, and I'm being polite, and
Yeah.
I made some type of comment
Yeah.
that was just stating the fact that I was older than her and that she was younger than me.
Oh.
And she sort of like went south on me.
She went.
Well, I had already gave her like a really nice tip.
Yeah.
And I felt in my head, and when I looked at the bill, I'm like, what the F? And I said, okay, this ain't your fault, this ain't his fault, this is my own stupidity.
Yeah.
All right? And the bottom line, it didn't really kick me in the head right then.
Right.
It more the way she handled the situation with the Democrat-Republican thing,
Yeah.
it sort of really sizzled in my head a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going home. Me and the wife got into a conversation, you know, why didn't you notice that maybe I was out of line here on that bill and, you know, maybe say something, make sure slap me in the face or something, you know? Well, it's not her fault.
She says you're a big boy.
Yeah, exactly. She said, suck it up, big boy.
Suck
you
it
know,
up, Buttercup.
You made this. I said, but I think I would have had your back.
Well,
You know, I would have questioned it at least.
she trusts you to make the right decision.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm not throwing her butt. Needless to say,
Oh, it's not
so
her
that
fault.
didn't go too well in my head too. So I'm sitting out by the pool,
Yeah.
just brewing on this.
Oh.
And brewing on this and going, oh, you're a dumbass, man.
Yeah.
You did this. And the bartender, and
Give it a rest.
the head started spinning, man. You know, the head just started
That
going.
was like the house in the Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz.
you know, so I'm like, fuck this, man. I'm calling up Bonefish.
Ooh.
So I called up Bonefish, all right? I had a really polite talk to him.
Yeah.
I said, can I speak to the manager? So, yeah, sure. Gets on the phone. I
Yeah.
said, hey, man, how you doing? He goes, hey, how you doing? I said, look, I'm going to be straight up with you. I honestly feel like your bartender behind the bar, Jordan, she didn't treat me as a fair customer. She didn't, you know, we had a little bit of conversation. She cut it off, but then she went to the end of the bar, and she's still promoting it. And then I made something out, and she shut me down like a freaking solid thing. I said, honestly, after that position, I would never come back and do business with her ever again.
Oh.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. I said, you know, I did get
He has
the
to take
feel
that
bad. I told
approach.
her about that thing. And it wasn't like I'm trying to throw anybody
Yeah.
at the bus, but I guess I needed someone to
Yeah.
sound off. I couldn't say it to the wife.
Yeah.
The dog's like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever you say, you know,
Whatever.
but I had to get a response. So
I
that
love
was it. So, okay, it was done. Everything's cool.
Oh no.
I slept on it that night, and I go, nah, this is me. This is me. That was where the reality check started.
Oh.
So I got up that Sunday morning, really early, packed my bag, and just freaking hightailed it, and freaking went to Georgia, and hung out in Georgia for 3 days, regrouping on my thing and
Yeah.
all doing those things. So that's what I'm saying. That reflection plate. So I had that whole week. And this, you'll get a kick out of this. And Liz, if you're watching this one, that week we had where the word for that week was overwhelmed. Have you ever felt like overwhelmed? Like, man, just everything's going down. Everything's going to shit, man.
Well,
I just can't deal with it.
when I was sitting in the hospital, I was getting ready to die, and they're going to operate on me the next day, and I was going to be under for 6 hours. I never felt like I was overwhelmed because this feeling came over me while this was going on that I was going to be fine.
Well, that was a good thing.
That was a good thing because and
Yeah.
that's the same thing. It's there for you if you want it, and sometimes you got to say like a little prayer, like please God, please help
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden things turn around in your own mind, and with the power of Him, will always help you, and you can become overridden with guilt or whatever you feel like, but you just sit there and you go, everything's going to be fine. And it was fine for me, and it's fine for everyone out there.
Well,
You
I
just-
mean, the problem is you know as well. It's just you have instances where maybe you got into a fight with your spouse, or your kids acting up. The dog just tore up the house. Freaking next thing you know, you're driving, you get rear-ended. You get overwhelmed. You get all this stuff.
That's
that
every
starts-
day with me. Who
Well,
cares?
that's what I'm saying. But you know what it is? That's what I was getting, because we had issues with staff members.
Yeah.
We had staff members. I guess he was overwhelmed and he quit. All right. And honestly, it was probably the best thing for all of us because we had to keep staying on top of him, and he wasn't a performer. One day he would, one day he wasn't. Other staff members were always having a hard time with him.
Yeah.
So I told one of the girls, I said, hey, look, you need to freaking get on him to get these going, because he
Yeah.
wasn't producing what
Right.
he needs to do. And he's like, oh, you must be out of your freaking mind. Text me and stuff. And I'm like, I didn't even talk
He
to you.
said that to you?
Yeah, and then on top of it, okay, because he was being sarcastic, I was like, look, man, because I gave him an opportunity to park his RV, a big RV, behind my building.
Yeah, and
Didn't
live.
charge him anything there. No, he
And
wasn't
live.
living.
No.
But I gave him the opportunity to park because he was paying like $700 in Naples.
You
And I'm
saved your
helping him
money.
out. Exactly. All right. And I said, well, look, if you're gonna leave, man, then just go ahead and get the RV out of the back of my property. He goes, all right, fine. An hour later, I get a text from him. Stop trolling my wife on Facebook and all these other places. I'm like,
What are you talking
dude,
about?
I don't even know really who your wife is. I've seen her one time at a
Yeah.
company function. I couldn't tell you her name.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm going, well, I feel overwhelmed on that. And then I had another staff member because Liz was out of town too. And
no.
during that week, she was supposed to be back on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But because of the storm, there was no flights, so she couldn't get in. Then she got the virus.
Right.
Then she found out her mother had some kind of stomach problem, had to do emergency surgery and to stay behind. So she was feeling overwhelmed, all right? And then one of our office staff members, she felt overwhelmed because one of my alarm guys was giving her a hard time about an estimate. I mean, everybody was feeling, even my new insurance gal, when we were talking with sweet gal, Jennifer from State Farm,
Yeah.
and
Ooh.
she's going, oh man, this week was one of those weeks. And she said the word. I just felt overwhelmed. So I was up there with my dad. We're hanging out.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was frustrated. Like the last day, he was frustrated. I said, Dad, you know something? You ever feel overwhelmed? He goes, yeah, I feel that way now. And I'm like, yeah, it's just the key word for this week is going to be overwhelmed. And so I just want to emphasize to people, we're all going to feel that way. We're all going to be in those moments where just like, well, go, poo, you know what I'm saying? Or just shoot the dog or shoot your spouse.
Well, you know, we have things that bother us and we get things done. We find out that no one did them.
Yeah.
So we're urgently trying to fix things.
Yep.
I fixed something yesterday. Before I left last night, I taped it, made a note and put it on the wall and called the guy, the fucking check is on the wall, okay? Because we have an inadequate system at the dealership for getting something done. So I apologize to him. But as far as feeling really overwhelmed, that's almost like feeling like you're on the Titanic and it's
Yeah.
sinking. Is that
Yeah.
overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that
you
that would qualify as being overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And it's like you just don't know how to handle it. You're not sure what the solution. You're trying to come to every solution, but it seems like, oh, every time I try something, it's not working.
But you never put yourself automatically in a position or a situation that you don't know how to get out of. These
Well,
are people putting
yes.
you into the position. As far
Yes.
as you being overwhelmed in your own mind about certain things, it's okay to investigate your own self and your own business and come up with a handbook for, say, reviews.
Exactly.
And you only get one review a year,
Yep.
and it's on the date that you were hired.
Yep.
And you have to give it to me in writing when you want to do your review.
Yep.
And let them know that part of the handbook is it's going to take 1 hour to do this.
Yep.
And your results for your review will be sent to you on a letter
Yep.
through whatever system that you want to use, and it's going to take maybe over a month to get this done.
Yeah.
So and that way there it gives you time to make the proper assessment, and
Right.
you only need that time so you can give the person the fullest, finest review that you're going to give them.
Exactly.
And
I mean,
that way there, you set up a procedure in writing that takes the responsibility off you, because to be honest with you, you're probably one of the nicest guys I know that runs a business.
I didn't pay you $100 for this one. I paid you 1,000. Come on, get a little bit better at this.
Trump sent me the check, okay? Trump sent me the check. But you're a nice guy, and it saddens me to find out that you are bothered by this stupid, mundane bullshit
Yeah.
that the world puts you into.
It's life, you know. It's always been where it's like,
Yeah.
I choose to allow the gate to open. In other words, like I said, I've got to go back and put that boundary down. Not that I'm trying to say, hey, beat it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not going to do it. I mean, Josh has seen me. There's times that I got no control because my daughter, my wife, or somebody else
Well,
is just
you're
dumping
a
shit
different
on me.
person, probably what you are now, and I know you through this experience, and I've also know you on a business sense, and you're the same person no matter what.
Yeah, I
So
have to
so
be.
you don't, and your family problems are going to influence you somewhat. Your work problems are going to influence you somewhat. But to be honest with you, the best part of my fucking day is guess what? When I get in my car and I go the fuck home,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I got a cell phone in my car,
Yep.
and I do fucking voicemail and all this kind of shit. I'm making 2 or 3 phone calls, and by the time I make my phone calls, I'm almost home.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's it. I mean, honestly, when I was driving up to Georgia,
Yeah.
the basic getaway, I mean, I hate to say I was texting and driving or shit, but never even listened to videos,
I just
but
push the button and just
but I'm
talk.
just saying, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. But I sort of like getting my own little, even though I don't like sitting for a long, long freaking time, but it clears out my mind. It gives me a different perspective. It gives me a different way to analyze things and reflect on, okay, I believe, honestly, I do believe that my heart and soul is here to help people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as I said, sometimes that kindness is a weakness.
Yeah.
Right.
You're never gonna go backwards.
No.
Even when you fall down, you always fall forward.
Exactly.
It's always 3 foot in front of you, you're falling down.
Yep.
But still, just take a deep breath, take 2 steps back, and you did this already with everything. You always take 2 steps backwards so you can see the fucking trees or the wall a little bit better, and you go, okay, I can come up with a better solution. That's why people in the world who don't have the wherewithal that you do, that you got to give them insight, take a couple steps back, breathe a little bit.
That's it.
Don't get some fucking male in there that think, oh, I got to tell you something. This is stupid, okay? This is stupid. I listen to talk radio a lot,
Okay.
and this lady, Kim Commando,
Okay. I think
she
I've
does
heard
she,
that,
she does a podcast and a radio show, and she was had a phone caller on explaining that his mother got duped for like $60,000 in cash
Wow.
3 times.
3 times?
And yeah, and
Wow.
she got a message from the federal bank saying that money's been accidentally put in her account, and they called her and stuff like that, and they got her to take cash from her bank account and put it in a pair of pants and put it in a box and wrap it up with birthday and Christmas paper and send it to this address at a post office up
Oh,
north.
no, see, that pisses me off.
They stole money from this lady 3 times, and this she was a very smart lady. Her husband just died, and
Their last stress.
that's why you need to put your wife on allowance. But
Or
'cause-
put your husband on allowance, depending on where
well, if he died, apparently he left her with enough money to send. But she sent these people cash 3 times, $20,000 each time, and it's
Why
such,
didn't she like talk to somebody about it and try to question it?
they're so convincing on the radio,
Yeah, I
on the phone,
Yep.
that they just got her to believe, and this happens to so many people that they don't even admit to it, and that's why if you see something that looks bad, smells bad, tastes bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing about it. You call the police.
Yep.
You call maybe your brother or your husband
somebody, or
or
neighbor.
your son
Get a-
or someone
get a
who's
second opinion.
get a second opinion and go, this doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
You know, like my mother used to call me all the time. She used to get this thing in the mail about she won money. And I looked at it and I says, this is a clearinghouse. It says you might win 7.5 million.
Yeah,
Not that way you won 7.5
Yeah,
million.
yeah.
You know, so I mean, but these old people, they get these things in the mail in the car industry for car warranties. Oh, your car warranty. Well, Mom, your car's 15 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Your warranty's been out for
10
12 years.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing? What do you think you got to buy something again for? Because these people say I have to. They're all full of shit.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. That's
Yeah.
taking advantage of
The elderly.
or elderly, the weak, whatever you want to call it. And I'll be
They're the-
honest with you, I had a prime example. This one I was at my father's about
Yeah,
a year ago.
yeah.
This guy calls up. Oh no, my God, what you do? You know, he goes, I tell you, if you. I'm going to send you a brand new Cadillac and this and this and this. All you have to do is send me a $400 gift card.
And some lobsters.
And like I said, I'll tell you what, man. And I played this dude up. I played him. I said, oh, really? I said, I'll tell you what. Let me, as soon as my wife get home, we'll go down to the store and I'll get my $400 gift card.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you bring the Cadillac to me and I'll give you the $400 gift card, man.
Yeah.
All right, and he kept going. The dude called back like 2 hours later.
Oh.
You got the gift card? Yeah. He goes, all right, we're gonna be rolling up in the Cadillac. I'm waiting. And he tried getting me to send it to him. I said, no, just bring the Cadillac,
No,
man.
his-
So I played him along
His,
on the whole
his
damn
scam,
thing,
his
man.
scam short. His scam
Oh,
was short.
that's sad, when they start taking advantage of people.
But it's statistically proven that there's so many people that are in the elderly stage of their life that have so much money. They've got a lot more money than the younger people because they've generationally have built that cash.
Well, I'm glad you brought this conversation up because I'll give you another prime example. Just the other day, we were driving through our neighborhood, and I didn't realize, I thought these people were having a little party over here, but I just happened to notice that apparently they were having a estate sale, okay? Where they had like a company that was coming in and selling everything.
Oh, yeah,
else,
yeah,
all right, well,
yeah.
apparently the people passed away, or maybe one person went into the, needless to say, they were having an estate sale. And I'm looking to this thing, and the wife's like loving the property. I mean, it's a beautiful house, man, all right? 2-story house right on the water and stuff, all right?
Wow.
And I'm looking at some of this stuff and happened to run into one of our neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbor goes, yeah, the kids weren't even informed that this estate sale was going on. The attorneys went ahead and did this because they were the ones that were the
Executor?
executor of the actual estate. Now, see, I am shocked to hear that because in today's society, you would think, and this family, they have a lot of money. I mean, he's got oil, he's got houses, he's got a lot of freaking money, okay? And now this attorney is basically gonna be selling stuff off, and did anybody ever take a true inventory of what's in your house? Because honestly, if you were to go into your house,
Well-
could you say you got everything that you know, what the decent values? I mean, if God forbid you and your family went out and you guys all just choked out for some reason, I don't know, you all died in a bad car accident.
Yeah.
Would anybody have a true value of all your belongings in your
Well,
house?
if the kids are complaining, they knew that their parents died. And they already ransacked the house and went through and took everything that was good anyway.
Well, I can respect that, but this was one of the things where they did. They
Oh,
were out of state and they
Oh.
knew their family passed away. They were
Yeah.
going with the attorney.
Yeah.
The attorney didn't tell them that they were having a estate sale.
Wow.
And maybe the kids wanted to come in and take some of the belongings. So one of my neighbors was saying, yeah, she was going back and forth with the son, and the son's like, well, I didn't even know about
Well,
this.
if the parents instructed the attorney to do it a certain way,
I know.
it's probably that way because they hated their kids.
Well, now they just didn't want their kids involved, 'cause they
I
maybe
just
wouldn't
said
handle it.
they hated their kids.
Well, but I don't know, but sometimes I also feel like you might give an attorney at a cocktail
Yeah.
party and go, oh, I can help you, I can take care of you,
Yeah.
and if they pass on, then they,
Well, there's also two different things that you always have to watch out for. There's a will,
yep,
and then there's your trust.
that's what I want with
The
the
trust covers everything that the will doesn't cover.
Exactly, it avoids probate.
Right.
That's the key thing.
You don't have to worry about some judge
Or
making a
attorney.
decision for you.
Or that attorney
Well-
dragging it out because
well,
they get paid a
He has to present it to the probate judge,
Yeah.
which could take 2 years or more. And next thing you know, the house is still sitting there. It's not sold.
That's
It's
it.
dilapidated. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. See you later. Everything turning out to be shit now.
Well, that's why, like I said, I advise everybody that they should, once again, analyze where you're at in your life. All right, because like I said, going back to the platform that I came up with, all right?
Yeah.
And this is for your business. You might want to really consider this one, okay? There's 5 major steps that I came up with. Number 1, for your business, you need to focus on customer service.
Oh, of course.
Customer service is like the number 1 thing that will get you ahead in this game, all right? Because most companies don't know what the meaning is of customer service. Second of all, is time management. If you were to sit there and analyze yourself and analyze your employees, are you actually getting the most time management skills that you could be? I know there's plenty of times I'm slack, and I'll give you a good test. Get yourself a timer for 5 minutes and ask yourself to sit down and just do your life. And for that 5 minutes, let that timer go up and see what you're doing. And then sit back and analyze. I played it on myself 3 times, and I found ways that I could have tweaked my time in that 5 minutes, where this could only take me 2 minutes.
Right.
All right, brushing my teeth, going to the bathroom, whatever you're gonna do. You know, you can see them do it in 2 minutes, but you're sitting down, driving around, texting shit, you know. It's time management, okay? Third of all, which is another big thing that relates around customer service, profit margins, time management is profit margins, okay? You gotta understand profit margins, okay? Because if you don't know what you're making, how much it costs me to buy this cup, put the thing in here, and then I'm selling it, you gotta remember, you got labor, you got overhead, you got insurance, you got taxes. If you don't calculate that right, you're gonna wake up one day and go, oh, how come I'm in the red? Because you didn't analyze it properly, all right? Then the next one, after you got this all organized, what are we trying to do? Wealth management or building,
Right.
okay? Which is ultimately creating an asset for you that's gonna bring you income.
Right.
Too many people think a tool is, oh, I got a house. Well, you live in that house.
Yeah.
That house does not bring you money. It
Right.
saves you money, but it's not a wealth building tool.
Well,
All right? Basically, what that does, it gives you roof over your head, so you're not paying rent. But yes, you can
Right.
look at it, but it's not really an asset. An asset is something where it's actually generating you income. All right?
Right.
And then the last but not least is your exit strategy. Okay? Most business owners, they just don't even really think about it. They don't plan it out. And all of a sudden, you either get to the point where you're sick and tired, or you get pushed out like by COVID or a medical reason. It's best to take that time out and to plan out what you want to do in 5, 10 years. Because, like I said, if you don't go from these 5 steps, you're going to have a hiccup in between. And you might bounce back, but you might not.
well, you probably do this already, but you have key people in your business you trust,
That is true.
multi-level of management. The employees only care about 2 things: how much you're getting paid and when they're getting paid.
Yep.
And you, on the other hand, you're the owner, so your level of profitability is based on other items.
True.
So you have to put safeguards in. You do a handbook. This is your responsibility. This is what you're going to do. I want you to sign this and give it back to me after you read it. It's got an arbitration agreement. Everyone has that. You can probably pull up online.
Right.
But this protects you. So if you're traveling or going on vacation, your management has a set skill point for these people to get their job done.
Well, that goes back to like keeping people from feeling overwhelmed. All right?
Yeah.
Which was another thing, because I had a meeting with another client yesterday, okay, a 3-hour meeting about potentially buying out their business,
Sweet.
okay?
Yeah.
And we were talking, and he's been in the fire protection business for a long time, but he's always been on the firefighter, fire chief, fire inspector, and he's had his own company because he sort of got pushed out about 10 years ago, and he knew this was making money, but he really hates it, all right? And we talked about this, and he goes, one thing about the firefighter business, like the firefighters or fire department, they are trained so specifically, because the first thing I asked him, I said,
Yeah.
don't you have sometimes inconsistency when they're out in the field?
They're
He
not
goes,
allowed to.
No. He goes, no.
You die.
I said, well, shouldn't we as business owners, in a sense, sort of take that mindset and try to accomplish thinking the same thing? I know it's not really life and death because you're fighting fire, but if we could sort of like get a mindset or training to make people say, hey, you want your life easier? You want to make more money?
Mm-hmm.
Then we as the leaders of that company need to find a way to train you more effectively. Because how many times have you hear where you've had good employees, but because of maybe feeling insecure because they're training or not meeting their expectations, they go, well, I'm out of here, man. JoJo down the street here gave me a $2 an hour raise.
That happens.
And that's because you didn't train your staff
That happens.
effectively, and you didn't think about the longevity of your thing.
So that employee can make himself more important, that the $2 an hour he's getting from JoJo isn't that a lot of money because you have a better future with you.
Well, but see, that's where I had this another big crossing T that like
Yeah.
made my head spin. I sat down with people, number one, about the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all based in their mind. A review is getting a pay increase. Look it up online. There's no relationship to really there. It's evaluating what
Right.
you got, and figure it is. And let's be honest, but all of us, you could give me a review, I could give you a review. You're going to show me some strengths, and you're going to show me some weaknesses. And if I base it on merit-wise,
Right.
you might not be happy with you might be expecting a $2 or $3 raise, and I go, oh, well, you're really good at this, you're really fantastic, but, you need a little tweak in here, a little bit of help here. So instead of that $2, I'm not gonna give you $1.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why I had to really emphasize on an incentive plan. And I sat down and I detailed it I figured it out, 48 hours of getting into this plan to teach them. And then I said to myself, you know something? I don't know if I have the skill set to train them effectively on this, even though most of this stuff is self-explanatory.
You can put them online.
Well-
You can find some courses they have to take.
Well, what I'm saying is that, would you as the individual really apply yourself? You know how many people go, oh, I want this, but then you train them, and they go right back in the same playing game. I've taken techs out in the field. Go, oh, I didn't know that. Train them. Go back a month later. Why are you doing it that way? I showed you how to do it this way.
Yeah.
I showed you how to do this way.
What's their excuse?
I don't know. It just seemed easier this way. See, the problem is, I look at it this way. When somebody comes to me and goes, I want a raise, and you're telling me only $2,
Yeah.
let's think about it realistically. Okay, on an average paycheck, let's just say, let's go $2. Multiply that by 40, that's $80. By the time you take the FICA, the taxes out, you're getting 70, $72. All right? Granted, you look at it over a year's time, that's like $3,800. But I can show you how that little $80 could be $800.
Yeah.
And it could go from $3,800 to $10,000 to $100,000 if you would just apply these little steps.
Because all of us started working somewhere for so much an hour.
Yeah.
How much did you get paid for your first job?
$3, $4. I mean, I don't remember.
I got paid back in 1972. I was an electrician's helper.
Yeah.
I was getting $2 an hour.
Wow, man. Think
And
about
I
it.
got
But
it.
everything was a lot cheaper then. We had Trump in office back then.
No, no. I think we still had Joe Biden. He was younger then.
Oh, okay.
He was.
Okay, but let's just talk
yeah.
about that for a second. I mean, I'm glad you sort of brought that one up too.
Yeah.
Who was it? I think it was in the Clinton era. Weren't we up to like 17, 18% interest
No,
rates?
that was Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. Okay.
1972 with the oil embargo. That's when they had lines around the gas stations.
Okay.
And gas, you were paying $1 a gallon for gasoline. When you probably know a long time ago, they had gasoline wars. I paid my mom paid, I wasn't driving yet, but she paid 17 cents a gallon for gasoline.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
You remember that? Do you remember that gas wars?
I don't remember exactly how much it was.
17 cents a
But
gallon.
that was when you didn't need seatbelts and stuff. You could roam all over your car and see that.
Well, they didn't have airbags in the steering wheel, but then again, regulation and
Yeah.
Ralph Nader, he did
Yeah,
all that kind of
yeah.
stuff. That's a blast. Hey guys, I want you to look up and Google search Ralph Nader, okay, right now.
Yeah.
That's how fucking smart I am. So,
No, but I mean, like I said, I want to make this emphasis on today's, basically our time we're here together, is emphasize on business leaders and
Oh,
just in general people
Well-
to take the time out to really analyze yourself.
how many times people working for you sit there and go, is Dan having a good day? Because I don't think I'm doing the right thing I should for him. I should be doing better. How many employees actually think like that? Zero. Zero.
Never will. Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people in performances nowadays. You got to be in a performance where you get a bonus check if you have good performance, or you get no bonus check
Yeah.
if you don't have any performance.
Well, I mean, okay, that goes back to the Olympics, and I was used as a reference point.
As a springboard.
Okay, think about this. Okay, now Olympics is a lot different than the real world because you're higher grade, your standards are everything else. But when you go to Olympics, there's only 3 people who are going to win out of that whole race, and they do not get participation awards.
Well, they had the Hishi Trophy, right? The guy that thought it was a girl, he cut his deal off. You know that, the boxer from Algeria,
No,
he's the one who beat up the Italian girl, and
I keep hearing it, but I haven't seen it, man.
it was only 42 seconds.
Well,
But-
that's
but
for a man hitting a woman. Come on.
But he got disqualified the previous month at the World Championships. because he had an X and Y chromosome, and he had testosterone in the level of being a man. But he beat the girl up. He hit her 2 or 3 times, and she goes, "I've never been hit that hard before, ever."
That's
and
wrong, man.
And she quit because
I
she
would
was
too.
she was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But he cut his you know what off to make it look good.
Take some man. That had to hurt, dude. Come on, man. Why would you do that? But come on.
I mean, come on. I mean, I'm really glad you have that kind of conviction that you're going to cut some off that you were born with.
You cut the whole thing off just a little bit. You must have had a pretty big one if you only cut
Well,
a
I
little bit
mean,
off.
there's actually a joke about that, you know.
I mean, damn, if you got that much to cut off, then damn, I don't know, man. Some people, weep, weep.
We could tell a
Cut
joke.
nothing off.
We could tell a joke, but some people would probably think it'd be distasteful. But I would have to qualify myself before I said it. But
Oh, okay, all right.
but I'm not going to say it.
All right, but now let's get the story
but
straight.
but the Olympics,
Okay, yeah.
you watched them for the last couple weeks,
I
right?
saw it.
They were kind of cool.
Yeah, something different. I don't know. Perspective was different. I've never really watched the Olympics this year. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting
Well, my
older.
daughter was in town, and we were watching it, and we're doing some things. And actually, the dog would be quiet, sitting on my lap, watching the Olympics for some reason. But we watched track and field. We watched this. We watched that. And the United States won 126
Yeah, I was impressed by that.
total medals.
Yep.
They won 40 gold,
Yep.
and the rest was silver and bronze. No, the bronze trophies are so bad that they're deteriorating so bad that they're going to give them new ones because they said they took metal from the Eiffel Tower. Anything you take something that has wee in it, it's always going to be bad. Yeah.
And even up on the top of the Eiffel Tower,
No, apparently they've been replacing pieces of the Eiffel Tower with steel because it's degeneration and stuff like that, and they took pieces of the Eiffel Tower and put it into the bronze metal.
Wow.
Bronze is mixed with copper,
Yeah.
so I mean, and the silver metal isn't completely pure silver, and the gold one isn't completely gold, so it's kind of a bogus thing, but it's really nice to go do something for your country and win and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, man. That's amazing. Well, that's what I was leading up to was, like I said, these people trained for years and did everything they could to push themselves to the limit. I mean, look at what's her name, Biles Simone, or I don't know if I pronounced it.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles. Okay, look at all the setbacks she had, and then she came back. And she's like one of the successful ones out there that got like one of the most golds, all right? But what I'm saying is that in today's society, I feel like we're not even working this little tiny bit to become better ourselves. And then we expect to get a participation trophy.
Well, I can understand a lot of their stuff because when I used to powerlift competitively, I used to train 4 and 5 days a week. And I competed on a really high level for 4 or 5 years. I think the last year I competed was back in 2011, 2010. I've got a lot of first place trophies. I got some second. I got no fucking thirds. Okay.
But you didn't get no participation trophies?
And I got daggers. I've got knives. I got swords. I got all kinds of shit. But as far as a partition, no, I never
Well,
got
that's
one.
what I'm saying. That's where our society has gone south, if you ask me, man.
Well, because
It's
you get a participation trophy just to show up, which creates a society of people that think they deserve something. They haven't earned shit.
Well, okay. I don't want to go on the negative side of it, but like I said, I just believe that if you want something out of your world,
No.
you have to first of all show up.
Oh yeah.
But you have to make an attempt and stop making excuses. Well, I can't do this because of this. I can't do this again. If you don't like freaking doing it, don't do it. Don't waste your time, okay? The thing about so many people go, oh, I hate my job. I hate my job. My job sucks. My job sucks. Well, go find another job.
Yeah.
You got time. You're only working 8 to 10, maybe 12 hours a shift. Most people are putting in 40 hours. So you got 24 hours a day. You can go up online.
Yeah.
You can go on your lunch break. You could be doing your part about
Right.
looking for something else.
Right.
Stop complaining and bitching about it. The old saying is either
But that's the
shit or get
easiest
off
thing
the
for them to
pot.
do. That's the easiest thing for them to do is to bitch and complain about them because they have no wherewithal. They probably barely got through school.
Well, hey
You know,
man,
they
hey,
probably live with their
hey, I
mommy
didn't
in the
make it to
basement.
school, man. I'm a 10th grade dropout, man, and it never stopped me because I just felt like I don't need to be taught shit that's not going to help me in this world. Nobody
Well,
talks about finances.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about customer service unless you're in the business.
Right.
Nobody talks about, hey, how do I pay my bills?
But you have special qualities that these other people would just die to have.
Yeah, but I learned it on my own because of trials and errors, getting
Yeah.
my ass kicked, getting abused, falling down, picking myself up,
yeah.
falling down again. You know?
But these other people don't have that ability. They just don't have that wherewithal to get things done on their
Well,
on their
like
own.
I said, I just want to put a little bit of power out to the people. Hey, look, if you need someone to motivate you, if you need someone to drive, look us up.
Yeah.
Dwayne and I have got a lot of history. You've seen a lot of people on our podcast, and we're here. We'll help you kick in the ass if you need a little help, man.
I have a guy that works with me at work, and he got a fantastic deal from his future mother-in-law and father-in-law to move out to Colorado to become a nurse and become a specialized nurse and make a
Nice.
bunch more money than selling cars. And
Okay.
I said, show me a little bit of the numbers.
Yeah,
He showed to me. He's got lots of enthusiasm,
that's what you need.
and he's young.
Yeah,
And I said, what the fuck are you doing here?
exactly. You can always become a car salesperson later on down the road here. Try
Well,
that.
Well, the way the politics is in car business and stuff like that, the way the government is trying to control everything, the
Yeah.
government's trying to pick winners and losers, which is
Well,
wrong.
Are we all in a sense? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying, are we one team winners on our team? We don't want the losers on our team.
Yeah, but the government doesn't need to, in a free market,
yeah.
in a free market
Yeah.
system, winners and losers are through own attrition.
Yes.
That the
that's true.
government does not need
Have
to
to be
pick
part.
winners and losers.
Yeah, I give you that too.
Yeah.
I looked at it from that way.
And like tariffs, who pays for the tariff? If I charge XYZ Chinese company bringing in something, he's gonna put it on the markup and we're gonna pay for it here anyway.
Well,
So
but that's what Trump was trying to get in there and trying to get China and all these other people to give up. You know?
well, China's not doing that well.
Well, no, but they're joining forces too.
No,
Russia,
they,
China, Mexico.
nah,
Yeah.
the financial situation in China is really bad.
Oh, it is. It is.
50 banks just disappeared overnight about a month ago.
So what contributed to that?
The way they're trying to prop up the system, they can't do it. They're trying to still come off the old system that they had
Yeah,
and try to go into capitalism. You know, China
Exactly.
China has billionaires.
yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
have
lots.
billionaires just like we do here, and they have a
They're buying
system,
properties
and they
up
have
all over
cars, and they have a nice situation over there. You know,
Well,
but
I mean, have you seen where they're trying to buy up a lot of farmland?
well, in certain states, it's not allowed no more because
know.
you can't buy land next to the Air Force base. So you can sit there and,
Yeah.
but in relation to that, there's a monument in Washington D.C. and they were going to, China was going to build some kind of shrine. Well, come to find out that the parts and pieces for this shrine was only put together by the Chinese people, and the American government found out that they had radio sensitive receiving equipment in this shrine to pick up information from the National Security Association in Washington D.C. so they could pipe it back to wherever they're going to. Just like that balloon that floated
Yeah,
across,
yeah.
and Biden's going, "Oh, the circus is in town. Holy shit!" So,
You always got to throw everybody at the bus.
well, it's the truth. It's the truth. He goes, "Hey, can I get some ice cream?" Hey, Jill.
Sprinkles on it.
Here was sprinkles. Is it chocolate chip? But some is just, but it's so stupid. And after it flies across the United States, you go, "Oh, I guess we'll just shoot it down." Oh no.
All right, I might give you a left turn here.
What's that?
Football, buddy.
It's back. I see where
Yeah.
the Bucks at.
Yeah, you see, well, I'll tell you the truth, man. They just had a game, preseason game, and they won it. And I, first time ever,
Yeah.
I've jumped ship, and I told myself, I'm not going to a game. I will never go there because I've been to games.
Yeah.
Always paid outrageous. Had to be up a nosebleed section. Had to park 5 miles away. Freaking had to pay $100 for a beer.
Yeah.
Said never gonna do it.
You did
Well,
it.
this year for the wife's birthday,
Yeah.
I went out and bought season passes.
Oh wow.
Okay, and I've got 4 tickets.
Wow.
All right, every game with parking
Is it on the east side or west side?
up in the club seating.
Wow.
All right, so I'm doing a promotion because every game I'm gonna have 2 extra seats.
You should do it for your work.
We're gonna do it for the work. I'm gonna do it for podcasters.
We
Somebody who gets involved, it gives me a reason why I should invest in taking them to the game and drinking with them and hanging out with them. And they better be a freaking Buccaneer supporter, all right? But I want somebody out there in the world out there to give me a reason to bring you and a guest, all right?
Wow, that's
So
outstanding.
we got
Take
10
advantage of that.
games. We
Take
got
advantage
10
of that,
games
yeah.
we can check out.
Take advantage of that.
And, you know, there are going to be a couple on Sundays, a couple on Mondays, a couple
Wow.
on Thursdays. So 2 seats. So I want somebody to come in and give up something on that for me.
Yeah, really. No naked pictures, please.
No, we won't take that. Well, that's depending on what it is.
Well, I mean, hey, look, a granny sent us that same picture again. It looked like a couple of Speedos hanging
Don't
out.
let my wife find out about it, because I might get beat up over that one.
Well, I mean, I was going to go back to the Olympics. You see how they were dressed?
At the Olympics,
The women, how they were dressed?
maybe.
Kind of scantily tight
I
clothing.
like that, especially the swimsuits.
Well, I mean, you only saw from the shoulders up.
Yeah, but most of those swim girls were like really swimming.
You see the women swimmers? They got the huge shoulders on them.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it just because they're just
Swimming, kicking ass, dude. I
Oh,
don't want to
man.
go down that road.
wow, man?
I'm not going down that path.
But the weightlifter girl, she won a gold. She never won
Yeah.
anything before in her life.
Nice.
She was 21 years old.
There you go.
She did the 2 lifts.
I mean, think about it after they get that. The dust settles, but now they start getting all these sponsorships, you know, commercials.
Oh, did you see where the pole vaulter's penis hit the bar, knocked the bar off? You saw that, right?
I can't say I did.
Oh yeah, there's a still.
Really?
This guy, Schlong, hits the bar as he's going up and over, and knocks the bar over, and he goes, he lands, he goes, the fucking penis again. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Too
so-
bad when you got 15 inches, you just can't tuck it in all the way.
Well,
man.
so he got a free underwear contract for life. You
Yeah,
believe that?
what Calvin Klein or something,
Oh, you
man,
whatever,
or who it is,
man.
or
Yeah.
Hanes or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
Tommy Hilfiger or something. So, but he got free underwear for the rest of his life. He has a contract.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same, man. But I have a hard time trying to find where the hell it went to.
Of course, you probably put yours on backwards anyway. So it says
Yeah, I
that.
did, man. Yeah, actually, I did that this morning. That was a bit. Were you watching me, man?
No. I was getting ready to come here, but no, but the way the Olympics are, I thought it was kind of cool. A lot of running, jumping, and did you see the shot put?
Yeah. What was the one with the disc? I guess where they spin around.
The hammer throw.
Whew. I've seen a couple of those,
But
man.
the shot put, and the guy who won, this is his 3rd Olympics in a row that he won gold.
Yeah.
And he's 6'7",
Wow, big boy.
325 pounds. Now they show him standing next to these other pole vaulters and stuff. I mean, these other shot putters and stuff like that. And it's really amazing how big these guys are when a normal person walks up next to
Yeah,
him.
you're like,
Be like he's this big and the other guy's
yeah,
about that big.
yeah, it's like get up the Hulk Hogan, man, or something.
He could put him in the Iron Man suit and close it up. But he won for the 3rd time in a row. He's the nicest guy in the world. But he's 6'7", 325. He's like a lineman. He's spinning around in the thing.
Wow. You got to practice that, man. Well, we're running out of time here, but I'm going to give you one more just for what we've got here. Do you remember the scene with ping pong, the table tennis one?
Oh yeah.
They sit there and they look at that thing.
Oh yeah. You
I've
stare at-
never seen anybody look at that ball and it's
you
like,
stare at-
I'm going to kill you. You need to get on the other side. I mean, they're talking to the ball, man.
Yeah.
You know, boom, and they're back and forth, back and forth. Did you see that one at all? The
Oh
table
yeah.
tennis?
Oh yeah.
That was amazing. That was really amazing.
But the Olympics were cool. Last couple of weeks has been really nice. Of course, I wasn't here. I hope everybody.
Yeah,
But you
we-
got to watch the show.
Yeah.
You got to understand the show. If you need anything, contact the show. I'll be more than happy.
Yeah.
No fee.
Yep.
I'll tell you exactly the way I feel. I'll give you some advice. I'm like one of these guys on radio Saturday morning. Hey, call me, whatever. I'm just give me a call.
Well, we got to tell them, guys. We're going to try to go out in the field here in the next
Yeah.
couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to go out and bang some doors and talk to
Yeah.
people. And so who knows? Maybe we'll see you out there, guys. But hey, just like Dwayne said, stick around. We're here every Tuesday from 9 until whenever we get tired.
Exactly.
And then, like I said, if you have any comments or questions or maybe solutions to our madness, hey, we'd love to hear from you guys. So hey, stay safe, stay blessed, and hey,
Be good.
be good and foster the people.
Stay
All right?
away. Stay away from the mean people.